Hey guys, Mr. Thibodeau here. So I want to go over the Ready reading stuff. Well, good news is this is our last Ready reading that you have to do this year. Now, how did both authors develop their stories in a similar way? Great question. Not the best answers for this. If it said what elements did both authors use in their story, there's a lot of things that the authors did to develop their stories. I would not say that using dialogue or setting it in the past is necessarily developing the story. It's more of like how you write the story. But in any case, they're not both set in the distant past. One is, one isn't. Both stories could happen in real life. Well, no, one of them involves a Greek god that doesn't exist. Both stories are told from the main character's point of view. Well, one is, one isn't. So the only thing that is correct is the use of dialogue. I also don't love that per se because this one doesn't. This one has quotes here, quotes here. Quotes isn't dialogue. It's when they talk back and forth. However, we do see dialogue finally here. He gave me an affectionate smile and said, "You know what I just realized? This is actual dialogue. That's actual. It's not a quote. This he would say. It kind of feels like just quoting somebody is not dialogue. Okay, but he does ultimately use dialogue right down here, or she does. He told Patheon, so we do see dialogue very clearly here. Anyway, it's not my favorite answers. Real good question. You guys can solve it just fine. It's just not my favorite of the way it's set up. Is there a common theme to both stories? Also, great question. Great question. Not great answers. I don't know if the theme to these stories really is to know your limitations. You could argue that for sure. To spend time with family, well, over here, we don't actually see him spending time with his father. As soon as he sees his father, he immediately wants to go and do this thing on his own without his father. So I don't know if that's a good argument. People should work hard to achieve their goals. That one, we don't see a lot of hard work in the part of Patheon. We see bravery. Yeah, we don't see him really work hard. We see her work hard for sure, but we don't see him work hard. So that's not really a theme there. People should focus on the positive things in life. Well, they end on a positive note, but I don't think that exists anywhere else. So it's important to know your limitations is very clearly the answer they want you to do. And I guess in many ways, this is a great question for best answer because you're able to solve it by process of elimination. You know which is the right answer that they want you to answer, which is often how I have to answer these in my head is, okay, well, a lot of these answers are correct or incorrect, but which is the one that is the least incorrect, or which of these is going to make the most sense? So you can get rid of the other three and you know that this must be the answer. The reason why I say it's important to know your limitations isn't always the best. I feel like with both of these, the real theme is that the kids want to become like their parents and they admire their parents and they want to do the things their parents do. And they are, they have what's called hubris where they think they're going to be able to do it. And so, you know, the limitations there for sure. I think that with both of those, we see that they did better than expected. They didn't actually, neither of them died, neither of them got injured. So perhaps the theme, at least in this one, it shows that maybe the dad was worried about nothing. Maybe the daughter could handle it if she was actually, if he actually helped her and prepared her. Over here, again, we see Patheon, while he could not control the horses, he had worked pretty hard. So maybe if the parent did help and support the child, they would have been able to succeed, right? Because they didn't have the parent's support in either of these in their attempt. They knew the kid wanted to do it, but they didn't actually get the support they needed in order to succeed. So, I don't know. I guess know your limitations is a fine answer, but I feel like there's more to the themes, okay? Anyway, how are Patheon and Sarah's lives different? This one's nice and easy. Sarah grew up knowing her father. Patheon did not. This is another one that's just fine. Which statement best describes difference in the development of the plots? Neither of them are successful, but Patheon does get his father's permission for the ride. Sarah does not. Sarah gets permission to sit on Hermes, but she does not get permission to ride Hermes, okay? This is such a good one for best answer. This should have been a best answer question. The funny thing is that they point out that there's more than one correct answer list below, but best answer, this would have been perfect for, because best can have multiple right answers, but there's one that's the most correct. So Sarah's experienced, Patheon is not. Neither of them are really careful. Sarah might be a little bit more, but not really. Clever, maybe there's an argument that one or two of them are clever. I don't know that we really see that. Powerful, sure, yeah, you can make an argument that either of them are powerful. Brave, again, you can make an argument that either of them are brave. I really wouldn't say that Patheon is brave per se. He is stupid. I guess the fact that he didn't shout out for help. Determined, though. I think this is the central theme, that these kids are determined to be like their parents. And I think that is the most correct answer. And I think that that's why this should have been a best answer question. However, they gave you options, so you could have picked any of them that you thought you could make an argument for, okay? These questions are perfectly fine. I don't think I need to go over it. I'll give you your individual feedback separately. So, all right, guys, that's it. Have a good one.